and welcome back to the Irish Hunting Podcast, the number one place for your hunting, fishing and country sports stories from around the world. Stick on the kettle, crack open a beer, pull up the feet, relax and enjoy. Hello and welcome back to episode 123 of the Irish Hunting Podcast, Lambay Legends with Paul Callen. This week we travel across the water to share a unique hunt with Paul Callen, Philly and Martin. We sit down with Paul and chat through our trip, Paul's plan for the future and this unique style of hunting. Myself and Rob then recap it all. Enjoy this one, folks. This episode of the podcast was brought to you by Game Cooling Ireland. For all your game cooling and game prep needs, visit gamecooling.ie. Right, we're going to take two. So we just started to try and record a podcast and realised it didn't hit. So we're over in the fantastic Lambay Island, and this is a great pleasure for both myself and Rob. It's the guys have heard this before, so they're going to seem a little bit less surprised than the listeners. But from me personally, it's been this has been a kind of a bucket list thing that I thought I'd never ever get to do, considering the history and lineage and all that kind of stuff that on the island. And that's a huge thanks to the man sitting across from us, Paul Callen, who reached out to us a couple of months back and invited us over to share a hunt with himself and the lads here, Martin and Philly. And I can echo, I think Rob will echo what I'm about to say, but it's been an epic hunt from start to finish. We didn't know we'd experience when we come over here, as we're kind of always nervous about meeting new people and so on and so forth. But I think we kind of, you guys made us feel right at home from the start. So huge thanks. And as I've just said there, my butt cheeks can attest. It's a different type of hunting over here. It's a unique hunt, and people will think, I think that coming over here is easy in brackets. But I'll put that to anyone that it's a completely different experience. One that I think is rates highly up on the list of where we've hunted, and we'll enjoy a couple of pints tonight after that wonderful curry by Martin, pheasant curry, savage. So again, thanks Paul for inviting us over. And I just want to, I suppose, recap. Myself and yourself got to know each other a little bit better up on the hill. Can you talk us through a little bit about, again, how this unique experience came to be on your lap and how you, I suppose, took it over?
Yeah, like I said before, a good man there, Richard Fagan, had the rice, used to invite a couple of lads over. Yeah, it was just a small walk around, 6 lads, just a small little thing, couple of boards every year that released, but it came my way then with a good friend of mine, Shane, who sadly after a year of having the sort of rights on it, he passed away. But look, we've just pushed it on as best we can to try and develop it every year, doing different things with birds, and then the deer came our way, and developing them as well into a decent herd.
Look, I think there's obviously, as you said, there's a commercial aspect to this. You bring hunters from all over the world over here to experience this unique style of hunting. But there's also the other side, which we've talked about just there, where this goes a little bit deeper than just, the commercial aspect to you. I know that from talking to you. I'm not blowing smoke up your backside or anything, but I know that this is a passion, because you can see it in you guys and the guys you've chosen to be around you here. You can feel it the minute you come in. You guys are like, you're in a happy place when you're getting somebody onto their deer. You're helping them to achieve their dream, their goal. And also, I think it's very important to you, correct me if I'm wrong, but the kind of the whole future of the sport, the future of our industry, you know. We've spoke about it up there, where I think you want to see not only here the future of Lambay, the hunting here, protected and preserved and left in a better spot than you took it over, but also hunting as a whole in Ireland. I think it's important to you. That'd be fair to say.
Yeah, definitely. Passion would be the word, all right.
Yeah.
I've always had whatever I can do to help out, especially with the youth coming into the sport, because we have just lack of that. So, yeah, look, I've offered up a few things there to try and get people interested, young guys and girls that are interested. I'll help whatever way I can in the Lambay situation or on the mainland. It's just something I'm passionate about, and it's something I think we all need to push to keep it going, because like we're all pushing on now, so we need to bring them on as best we can. Like most of our fathers brought us on shooting, so that's where I came from, just tagging along behind my father, carrying the game bag, and couldn't wait to hold a pheasant that he shot, stick it in the bag, and you couldn't wait to go home, show everybody. But you know, things move on, you develop on, and just try and develop things as you go along as best you can. Yeah. And hopefully lads will pull along with you. They can help out some way or the other in the sport.
And you've kindly donated a scope for, we're going to run a little competition. I put it up on Instagram and Facebook there today about maybe a possible new shooter or a youth shooter. If they send in messages, we'll have a look through them. We'll narrow it down to about 3. Is that right with you?
Yeah.
And then you can pick out of the 3. So we'll leave that run for a week from the date that this podcast is published. On top of that, we discussed a possible shoot. Now, the finite details of that still to be discussed over a couple of points when we go to the bar. But a shoot for, I won't say youth shooters, but new comers to the sport.
Yeah.
Is that fair? What are you looking to plan?
No set plan as yet. As I said, when we were here, we'd had a good chat about it, discuss it, see what ideas we can. Yeah. Like there is some elements you like to bring, as I said, mainly youth, and bring them on, but there is older guys getting into it at, you know, an older stage. Like, so, you know, if they're new to the sport, yeah, more than happy to help out. But I think we will have some sort of hurdles with youth as ages and things like that and whatnot. So we just have to look at all them.
Yeah. We'll, don't worry, we'll solve this over a couple of pints of Guinness. So back in the day, I used to fish around the back of Lambay. So I knew the island, but no idea that you did a shoot. Or I knew that there was wallaby, but no shooting at all. What can you actually cater for? Or who do you cater for? Like nationality-wise?
Well, look, we can cater for anyone that likes to hunt. That's basically it. Like our hunting, we have our pheasant shoot. We do a Saturday shoot, as we call it, where we have a team of 8 guns come over. We start off with it's a walk up. So the best part of the morning is walked up. The dogs come around after lunchtime. Then we have a few small banks, small trees that we flush boards out over onto the waiting guns. Martin there, he has his job of pegging out the lads underneath, keeps an eye on the guns and that, and picks up behind them. So
some nice drives out there. You showed us around a few of the spots, and you get some nice birds, I can imagine. Yeah, we've seen some of the videos as well.
You've seen some of the videos, yeah. We've got some this year in particular. We've had some great birds up, and some of the guys have been here. Well, you know, they've been under them. They know what they're like.
Yeah.
But like, it's every year is different. When you take in different birds, different breeds, different things happen. But you just have to get your head around that and see what you need to do with them.
But that's hunting as well, isn't it? You're going to get different type, and I think we'd want it no other way. If you're getting kind of samey stuff, it'd be if you're getting a little bit different, a little bit more unique every year. You have different challenges on your end. We'll present different challenges, I presume, on the guns end, which is good, you know. And then in terms of the deer, you're actively trying year on year to manage the herd. improve the herd, I suppose promote the better genetics within the herd, and we've seen some of that over the last couple of days. Some nice books out there.
Yeah, we have got some nice books there. We've a couple of years since we've taken over it. We've, as I said to you earlier, and the thing that didn't happen. I talked to a good few people about how to manage this, how to bring it forward. Some guys in the UK in parks, different guys. As far as Tasmania, actually, we've talked to guys out there.
Knowledge, just
to gather, and typical Googling and all that sort of stuff, just to see what we need to do. And it's like anything, is take out the bad stuff first, and let the good stuff reproduce.
Do their thing,
And it takes a bit of time, a few years. You'll start seeing the difference, and you can see it on some of them books there today, or yesterday in particular. We got on. So, we've got the sort of the two types here. Is the normal sort of brown spots, and then you have the mentalistic sort of black book, if you like. They're the main two types we have here.
And there's just some nice animals here, and like that. I suppose one of the things, Paul, so we'll throw it on the table and get it out of the way, because it's one of the things that was kind of, I think we talked about, lads say, you're going to an island, you're shooting deer. It's like, I think you said, some lads would be saying, that's like shooting a fish in a barrel, or it's easy shooting, all this kind of stuff. We can attest, it's nothing like that. I think this is one of the more challenging hunts that we've done. We've both felt it this morning in particular, after getting up from yesterday. Like there's some nice stalking, very tough stalking, hard to get in because you have a lot of, you have a lot of hills, but you have a lot of open land as well. So hard to bridge that gap. You have to, like, you guys know what you're at here. So you've the wind. You're in an island, so you've the wind, which never really plays ball. Which I think we went up there today, and I think the wind was hitting us in 3 different ways, and every time we tried to get it, it played against us, and I don't know how that works, but it did. So it's very, very challenging, contrary to what people would believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's like any sort of stalk, and you need to study your ground, get to know your ground, and know what you're doing, where you're going, where possibility you're going to come across deer. Like, as I said to you on the first day we were heading up, the two of you came with me for the first stalk. We hunted with the wind on our back, which you'd never do in most places. But as I say, we're on an island. We're sort of are going in a circle, if you like. But so the wind has to be going with you at some stage. So I think a little bit of development that, as I said to you, we stay sort of relatively high. And past you can be passing there, and they will you're deliberately getting your wind into them, and then they come up out of the valleys. You just don't know where they are. They will win you, and they'll move. And that happened that day. Rob, you got in particular that young doe you shot down low, and that you had to drag up the cliff. You might have regretted that one.
I actually, I didn't even think about the after part, but as soon as I shot it, and we actually shot 2, am I right? 2 then?
Yeah.
So yous went back to the other one, but I thought I was still an eye shot. Yous could see me. So when I went down to drag it out, I was giving it socks. I won't let these see me suffer. And then I went up to you, sure, yous are nowhere fucking near me. Yous are having a chat. Yeah, and you managed to put me on 2 beautiful books. And I'm going to be honest, the first one, like I said on the original podcast that we did, I fluffed the shot at 80 yards, completely missed. But I was lucky enough that you managed to get me on a second beautiful one. So I have a beautiful Lambay book that I'm over the fucking moon with, and it's going on my wall at home. Yeah,
absolutely. This fabulous new room we're seeing all the time.
Fabulous new room. I'll drag that room out for a good another 6 months. Talk to us about the different stages of books.
Yeah, it's like different stages. You've got the pricket, then you've got the sorrel.
Actually, just on the pricket, how do you know a good pricket? Because I learnt this off you.
Yeah, like I said, I've talked to people and I've learned this. It's a good prick. It has a good high point spike, if you like, over the ears. Once a decent height over his ears, he is going to make, a relatively good buck. Anything sort of short below the ears, more than likely you'll take that out. He's not going to make it. But look, no expert, but that's what I've learned.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working. As I said, you can see them bucks up there.
Yeah.
So we've got a good, healthy herd of bucks there. Like you've seen some of them bachelor ones there. What, maybe 20, 25 good bucks in there.
Really good bucks. So that's the pricket. What comes after that? Because I don't hunt.
You've got the sorrel there, so 3-year-old sort of stage. You've got the soar, you'd be sort of 4 to 5. Then you've got into your buck, your mature buck, say, and then you've got your master buck.
Yeah.
Like, I think a mature buck is a good buck for anybody.
Yeah. I think myself and Philly shared actually with Martin as well on that morning. I was having a nightmare in the first morning, which we'll talk about afterwards, because I was all kinds of, I'd missed more than I shot in the first morning. But what I came to realise, and we need to chat about it there this morning, but you mentioned yesterday not many Irish people have got to shoot, a Lambay buck, me and him are now in that and that's like a fantastic, I think it's an honour to be in that, and I think this island is, we're only, I don't know, we're only a mile or two away from the mainland there, I presume, and like this is like a whole different world over here, and we're blessed and honoured to get to share it with you guys, and a quick mention for the two boys here, two of your right hand men. I know there's a couple of lads as well, as you said there, Marty as well at home, and
Mark and Conor,
Mark.
my young lad. The two boys here, Martin and Philly. Like, I've got a good team around me,
a very, very good team,
and they know what we're doing. You don't have to repeat yourself. They know the ins and outs of the Saturday shoot. Like you see what we've done here over the last 2 days. They know what we're doing, what we're about.
Yeah.
And like, I have to hand it to them. They are good lads.
Yeah, look, I know we said there, Philly, he called you boss, and you don't like being called boss, and I think that's there's the whole kind of, there's a camaraderie here, like the cooking has been absolutely phenomenal by Marto, and like that, we coming in, we're sharing a few pints, having a chat, all hunting stories. It's like we've known each other for a lot longer than 2 days. I think that's down to the kind of the atmosphere that you guys have created here, so it's absolutely fantastic. This man over here has plenty of Sika shooting experience.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
He's trying to avoid that microphone, isn't he? Do you want to have a quick chat, Philly?
Go ahead.
Me and you, I think, and Rob have been chatting on Instagram for
yeah, that's right, yeah,
for a good while. But and it's only, I think, yesterday morning when you mentioned something, you said, yeah, sure, I'm Philly 270. Yeah, yes.
It was when Rob kind of clicked it. He went, "What's your name on Instagram?" And I said, "It's Philly 270." And he, no way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So until you put a face to the name,
yeah.
But you've been shooting a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of Sika.
Mm-hmm.
How did you end up over on the island?
I think it was actually Instagram, wasn't it, Paul? It was, yeah. I followed Paul, obviously, on Instagram through hunting.
Yeah.
And I put up a story one evening of my work. I was spray foam insulation. And Paul said to me, he said, "I have something there. Can you insulate it for me?" I said, "Yeah, no problem at all." Went out, insulated it for him, and it was basically I seen all the hoppers in your back garden, and I said, "Say a big gunman sort of thing," and that was it. Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I think me and you we shared a hunt this morning, and it was one of them things where we went out to what you guys call the nose of the island, and me and you were up on the bank, and now it was a wild morning. It was cold, wind, rain, and we looked out over, and I said to you, and you absolutely, I think, concurred what I said. Do you ever wonder what it took for us all to be here at this fucking moment in time? You're looking out over, you know, the bay, the waves crashing up against. Like, it's a fantastic experience to be able to experience out here, and you're blessed to get to do it. Do you know what I mean? As part of
massive opportunity.
Yeah.
Can only thank Paul for that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think, look, it's you have a unique bond. The tree is here.
Yeah.
So I think it's commendable.
Yeah.
I think when we go over to the lads, I think we said it, the lads in the UK, it's not like, you know what I mean, it's not like your traditional kind of management structure where lads are telling each other what to do. You guys make a plan here. One goes one way, one goes the other way. It's all everyone helping. And I know for a fact the enjoyment you guys get out of watching and seeing other people enjoying the hunt, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a fantastic trait to have. Like, a lot of people wouldn't understand that, you know what I mean? It's a selfish sport by nature. You know what I'm saying? We're tend to be lone hunters. Talk about the enjoyment that you get from that, the rewards in comparison to younger years.
It just is. It's hard to explain. I've done it all. I've seen it all. Do you know? And just to see someone else, even just getting in on the stalk with them. Do you know what I mean? You're watching their reaction the whole time. It's the smile on their face. It was when Rob there this evening, you shot that calf there this evening, and it was just straight away fist bump. Absolutely delighted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that made me just as happy as he pulled that trigger.
Because I was feeling a little bit guilty. I was actually trying to get you to shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
for the last 2 days.
But like, it was miserable out there this morning, this evening, and that was a good stalk.
It was.
As in, it was
hard. Had
to put in a good bit of effort.
Mm-hmm.
Hailstones, the wind.
It was an hour stalk.
Yeah.
From the moment we locked eyes with them there, it was an hour stalk. Like,
Philly came in the door, and we both, myself and Martin, said, "What happened to you?" He was muckle. He said, "Wait till you see the other fella."
I came in, and he automatically took his phone up and started taking it. I was like, what's wrong? Muck all over us. I really enjoyed that stalk. I thought it was very good. Talk to us. I'm going to hit you with some weird questions now, right? The wallaby. Give me some facts about the wallaby. There's one in particular. Paul, go for it.
Is this the one I told you the other day, yeah?
Yeah. It has 3 vaginas.
3 vaginas, yeah.
And what can they do all at the one time?
Well, they can conceive, they're ovulating and they conceive. They've one in the pouch as well. So, like, it's ongoing. They're worse than rabbits, basically.
I'm
it's
very
ongoing.
surprised with the amount that you have. It's a serious amount of them.
Way too many. But look, they're there.
They're part of the island.
Exactly.
How did they get here? From the zoo?
Some of them came from the zoo. So one of the Lord Revelstokes, I'm not too sure which one, had 2 as pets. There was some sort of disease in the zoo, I think it was. I'm not too sure. It was the 50s or 70s maybe. And I think they had 7 wallabies to come over that were supposedly all the same sex. So possibly then the 2 that were on the island were of the opposite sex, or one of them at least.
One of party time.
So, yeah. So, and that's how they stand. To possibly about 800 or so.
That's a lot of vaginas.
Definitely.
And just because we walked around, we seen a distillery. I was in the church today. Everything in that church
is beautiful, yeah.
Is original. Talk us some of the history on the island that you know of, just rough stuff.
Yeah, like these cottages that we're in, these were all the Coast Guard cottages originally. When the Beirns family took it over, they've developed it. Like, you see the White House there, fabulous house.
What's that used for, the White House?
Tourists. So they rent it out summertime, and we've American trips coming in, staying in that. You didn't actually get to see that. Yeah, maybe we get a look at that later on.
A unique thing about it, you were saying it's identical on one side and the other.
It's sort of like in a U shape, and you've got the left wing and right wing, and they're just a left hand and right hand, identical rooms, bathrooms, kitchen, all the same. Yeah.
And then I suppose the hunting element fitting into this island takes a bit to run, and obviously to keep it and maintain it and so on. Hunting's an integral part of that in terms of the revenue it brings in.
Yeah.
For to maintain this island and keep it ticking and keep the people who are employed here employed.
Yeah, definitely. It's bringing them in a revenue. It, from the minute you book something, like anything, you book something, you have to start organising, you have to organise boats. So between the island, it's revenue for the island, it's revenue for the boatman, it's
for the few pints over on the mainland.
On the Saturday shoot after the pheasant shoot, we go back to the mainland at the Harbour Bar. Great food there and great. We always have great crack there, Martin. No, plenty of pints.
Martin's not in agreement. Good pints they are, Martin.
It's like it's hunting, but we're creating an experience for people, not just the hunting. So you're coming to somewhere different. You're coming on a boat to go hunting.
Yeah.
You have your days hunting. It's a bit of crack that we have. Like we've got some good guys coming to shoot with us.
Yeah.
And we've got some good guys repeating.
Yeah.
Coming back. And then it's back the end of the day to the Harbour Bar. We're all together. Like for part of the day I mightn't get to chat to everybody or have a bit of crack with everybody. So back at the bar you can mingle a bit more than trying to organise the shoot as we go type thing and trying to talk to people. But when we get back to the bar, they put on great food for us, and then obviously a couple of pints.
Talk to us about the food. There's a game.
Martin's food or the
no. The bar food. Martin's food is top class. I'll give
the
him
Nigerian pheasant curry.
Yeah, but the food back in the bar, they do a decent selection of game recipes.
Yeah, so like Alan there, the owner, he's got some good staff there in the kitchen, the head chef, and that they are pretty good with the game. They know their stuff with game. So, there's the menu can have venison burgers. A lot of our stuff would go into it. The pheasants, we always offer to the guns, take what you want out of the bag. We do get left with stuff, so during the week that's done, it's processed and it goes into the bar and it's used in the bar. So they do a fabulous game pie. So there's a mixture of venison, pheasant, and you could be asked for a couple of pigeons, duck, whatever can go into that game pie. But I think Martin will agree they are good.
Oh, they're excellent.
Yeah. So there's no waste that comes off this shoot. Everything is utilised one way or another.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
100%. And what I really like, and only from having a chat with you, is actually have a WhatsApp group for game recipes.
Yeah, Philly's not actually on it, unfortunately. Myself, it would actually develop by a good friend of ours, John Carey, there in Rush. So he's, we're all deer shooters. So it started off mainly as a deer shooting thing, but I think it might have been your Nigerian pheasant went up, so you had to change it to game, WhatsApp, whatever. But the lads are cooking game there. Look, there's one of us cooking game every second night. So out of the what's there, 5? There was 6 of us on it. We lost another good man there at the end of last year in a bad car crash. Wes Riley, a good hunting man, loved it, lived for it. But yeah, every second night there's a dish going up. Conor Harford there, John Carey, Damien Barr. There's dishes going up. Venison, burgers,
it's brilliant.
Lasagna.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about your lasagna, the same thing. Stews, everything. Cottage, like venison, sort of cottage pie twist, if you like.
Yeah. So I think that's fantastic. I think that's something that we could all, as a community, could. You know what I mean? I think there should be one nearly in every club and every. You know what I mean? To try and at least it's separate from the main group. You know what I mean? That you can just literally concentrate on the cook. I think it's a vital part of our sport.
Yeah, I think it's coming back because there's a lot of clubs doing their game nights again.
Yeah.
I see a lot of lads advertising, and it's great to see, and they're doing it in their local pub. They're raising a few bob maybe for something local or whatever, but it's good to see. I know a good few clubs there locally, and you see it on Facebook through the country.
It's brilliant.
Doing it, so
it's
great to see because that's what we're doing.
We've actually been invited down to a few. Actually, one of them coincided with a hunting trip and so on. So we haven't got to experience one yet, but we most definitely will. It's one of the things where I think should be a big light should be shone on it. It's because that's the focus. I think obviously we hunt for both we talked about today for some of us for trophies, some of us for sports, some of us for food. And the byproduct of all of that is food. It's vital, I think, and you're an advocate of that, is utilising all the meat making sure that it's nothing goes to waste and so on. I suppose we chatted there. You've some plans for the future. I've seen some of the things you're between yourself and Philly there. You've new merch, which we love, by the way. Give us the name of the brand is. Talk us through.
Or can you?
Okay,
Yeah, we have.
We'll leave that. Leave it on one side.
It's sort of
in the making.
Yeah.
Still, it's fresh.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll be pushing it out there. Like, but
Well, we'll be hopefully we'll be the first to know.
we're sort of pushing. We're not just Lambay. We have got other stuff on the mainland too.
Yeah.
So, but I suppose Lambay would be a big part of it. But
the USP.
We have other stuff on the mainland there. So.
I think I've seen some of the cards that you're developing. I'm not going to let anything out of the bag, but I think it's really cool. Memento, a little bit a book that you're going to give and to kind of commemorate the hunt and all your, because you guys are. We talked, I suppose, in the last one about being regulated. I know you be an advocate of that, of in some sort of getting regulated and making sure that in terms of deer license and insurance and so on, you take care of all of that, and I think you're going to incorporate that in the Memento book, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's just something. We might be going down to collect pheasants, and we're in a van for an hour, and we're chatting away about what we're doing, how we're doing, on the phone in the evenings, whatever. What's the next step? What's the next step? What we need to do to make it better, to make somebody's trip better. So there's a few little things. They're only small, but I think they will give it a nice touch.
I think they're more than small. I think they're very, very.
Remember.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you guys are bringing people from all over the world here. I think it's a fantastic advocate. We're two of the lucky ones. We're going to have 2 books on our wall. So thank you very, very much again. And Martin, a special thanks to, we had a steak on the first night. We had your burgers, the recipe that you're going to give to us, because they were some of the nicest burgers I think I've ever eaten. And then to cap it off all today, it was the Nigerian pheasant. And in fairness, now I think we had reservations, and when it's Nigerian pheasant, what is this entail? It was hands down the nicest pheasant dish I've ever had, and I can't wait to get the recipe and try it myself. What's the plans for the coming season? It's kicking off already?
Yeah, like I said, we got some mainly adult cocks there from Bannockar State, some great birds. We picked them up there Wednesday. We have them in the pen there at home. So plan now would be getting. Yeah, we had a little mishap with a dog, but look. As soon as it ends, it starts. It's like any shoot, and it's like any clubs. Like every club will be already ordering, if they haven't ordered already, their birds for the summer.
Start incubating. Yeah.
Yeah, there's plans, eggs, order, whatever. But it doesn't stop. You keep going. That's it. But look, if it stops,
You don't want it to stop.
what are you gonna do? You're sitting at home, twiddling your thumbs. Look, as I said, from an early age, toddling on behind my dad, it was just a passion, and that's where it stemmed from,
Yeah.
And same with the lads here. Lads are all shooting all their lives.
Yeah.
So, getting on now, so it's a good way at this stage.
Yeah, but it's nice what you're trying to do and pass it on to your own son and to other youth shooters. Before I let you go, right, I'm about to lose my train of thought altogether.
You have to lose your train of thought. Wouldn't be like it.
Shite. I really am. Here, take that. I had a question.
It'll come back to you.
Give it back to
told
me.
you.
Give it back to me. What can you cater for? Now, did I say that on this podcast or the last one? Did I say it on this one? I don't think I did.
No?
You did.
Did I?
You did.
Well then, I'm going to hand you back over to Anthony.
Keep that train of thought. No, look, I think I'm going to just go back on just one little thing I said. We're honoured to have been one of the select few that got the chance to take a book off this island, I'd urge, and I would urge people that who want to experience something different. I know you're creating slots is going to be a problem because I know you guys are pretty booked up and busy and so on. However, if it is on people's bucket list, and if people have kind of maybe preconceived ideas of what I'd park them for a second, experience it, and then come back and revisit, because I think it's an epic. I think we're hopefully going to get back over next year, which is and hopefully do a little bit of filming and experience some of the bird side if you have us back. But I'm just inviting ourselves there. Remember, I'm live on there. But no, if we do, it would be an honour again. But yeah, but I urge people just to check it out. I think you guys have something really, really special here. I'm not just saying that. It's a very unique experience. It's a very unique environment, and I'd urge anyone that's listening to check us out and get in touch. You will not be disappointed. That's what I can say. It's been an epic couple of days, and thank you very, very much, the three of you.
Thanks, lads. It's been great to have you over and continue what you're doing. I think it's good stuff. You're getting our sport out there and different aspects of it. So that's one of the reasons why I said when I reached out to you, I like what you're doing, and we need a bit more push on our side, push back on our side. Yeah, to keep this thing going.
And look, we appreciate that. I know you did say, because we'd said, like, do you want us to promote? You don't need it. I know you're kind of booked, and it was kind of, you said that you appreciate what we were doing, and I suppose that's just shows the type of characters you are. You know what I mean? You didn't want anything for yourselves. You didn't have to. You know what I mean? Didn't have to do what you did. So we really, really appreciate it, and it's not going to notice. And I think we'll hopefully share a couple of hunts both here and maybe on the mainland in the future. All right. Over and out, lads, and thanks again.
Over and out. Thanks, lads.
Has your deer got a temperature? We've got the solution for you. Visit gamecooling.ie for a full range of game cooling and game preparation solutions. And make sure to tell them we sent you. There's something wrong with you.
There is.
We're sitting in the Jeep here recording the podcast, and this fella's decides to put on a seatbelt.
And we're not going anywhere.
No, we're not going anywhere. How are you?
All good.
We're going to talk about Lambay. We started this. We've had two shots at both the main chat with Paul and the lads over in Lambay, and this is our second shot at having, because we wanted to do a little bit of justice.
We rushed it. Not that we rushed it, but we tried to do it on the way back in the van. The noise was bad. The battery was going down on the phone. We were watching that, and we were skipping over bits.
Yeah, huge bits, and it was one of those. It was an epic trip, so we wanted to do it a little bit of justice.
Just let the dust settle.
Yeah.
Have a proper think about, because you do forget. You know, when you're tied up in the midst of it all.
Yeah.
You do forget. So.
Epic trip, buddy.
Talk us through what you thought of it. First of all, the boat journey.
Yeah, the boat was a serious job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So where did we get it? We got it over from, what was the name of the harbour?
Oh no, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. The GPS brought me to the harbour, and I wouldn't give away the location anyway. It's top secret. But I asked the boatman, that's some machine. How much did that cost? 1.1 million.
Yeah. It was a boat that came up. It had a kind of like a platform at the nose of it, so you can walk level straight out onto the boat, and a couple of steps down then on the actual boat, rather than handing stuff down. So it's perfect for the job.
Yeah.
Hydraulic seats in the back of it.
Yeah, you're flying across there, because I seen it coming across to us. The lads went, there's the boat, and I was going, that's not a boat, that's going too fast to be a boat. It's on jets.
Yeah,
it's like one big jet ski.
It's a crazy thing, but it's a savage job, in fairness.
9 minutes is what it took to get us over there. Booting it.
So yeah, we got over there in double quick time. We loaded all on the gear, all the essentials, the beer kegs and guns and all kinds of stuff, and we got over, and we were met then by a lady in a quad, a trailer, and we loaded up all the gear from the harbour, then straight up to the house, unloaded. We were in our gear.
We were in our gear, ready to rock. We were told to be in our gear, that we were heading straight out. I'm always a bit anxious meeting new people.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit weird like that.
There's two of us in that now, buddy.
Yeah.
There's two of us in that. But
They were sound.
yeah, I think you generally find that with hunting people, don't you? Because obviously we've similar
Interest.
interests and ways of thinking generally. I know
Yeah.
there's the odd couple in the South community that are a bit weird, but the majority are.
Every community has that weird
yeah,
cousin.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the majority were, and like that the lads could not. It was just like we were chatting straight away, off to a good start, and we both had a walk around with. So Philly and Martin went over down the right hand side of the island,
Yeah.
and we went essentially uphill.
Yeah, now, right?
Just-
Just to put everyone's mind at ease, because going over, I thought, an island, nice and flat. It's not flat.
No.
Lambay is not flat at all. And it was hard on the body the couple of days.
Now, genuinely, because we've hunted a fair bit in different parts of the world and different parts of this country, that was as tough now going as it got.
Yeah.
Because you've got over a hill and you're thinking, I got to the top of this thing.
No, there's
And
false peaks.
Yeah. And maybe it's because of that. Do you know when you said to your mind, sure, I'm just going over it and it's grand, should be all downhill. Then you get to another one, oh fuck, there's another one. And then you've wind, you know what I mean? So you've a bit of wind drag and
that's something I want to talk about. The wind.
yeah.
Because we were sitting in the Atlantic and there was no cover to block wind, I wasn't accounting for the wind in me shooting.
No.
And I fell down there a little bit. Because where we shoot,
Yeah.
there's no real, like, you can always manoeuvre yourself that the wind is either at your back or in your face, so it doesn't affect the shot. But here, because it was vast open
Yeah.
portions and sometimes you couldn't manoeuvre, you were taking shots with like a right angle wind.
And we talked about that actually, and that's probably one of the reasons we did the podcast now rather than when we were on the way home in the van. We would have skipped over that, which was a huge part of it, and we'll probably go into depth in that in another podcast. But even if we were accounting for the wind, it would have been very difficult because again you're on an island and it's roughly between 650 and 1,000 acres with beaches and coves and all that kind of stuff, and it's up and down and there's little nooks and crannies. It would be you would have to be very on the ball to account for wind there, because you're going essentially in a circle.
Yeah.
Some of it you have the wind in your back, some of it you have in your front, some of it on the side, and then you're dipping over like a bit of a hill and down into a gully where it might be sheltered.
Yeah, so you could take, if we wanted it, and we don't normally account for wind when we're shooting, like a little bit, but not the way you're supposed to. Even if you took a wind reading where you are, if you were in a gully, it would give you a false positive. When you fire out there, the wind could be doing anything out there.
Exactly.
You need to practice that.
Yeah.
Like getting your ballistics and the elevation is the easy part.
Yeah.
Wind is the witchcraft of shooting.
Yeah, and it caught both of us, I think, on the first day.
The first day, we didn't put our best foot forward.
We did not.
But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, so we went up and we were coming over, and like that, the first thing that struck us, obviously, was the wallabies. So you've a load of things, obviously, because people say, "Oh, you're shooting deer." This was one of the things that was, I think, we discussed with Paul. That's thrown it. You're shooting on an island. How hard can it be? But you've like ready-made alarm systems. You've wallabies that are shooting out of everywhere.
The gulls.
The gulls are nesting, so they're just, and they're nesting and roosting, so they're alerting. They have the deer spooked for you.
Oh, I seen it on the last day. Right, we'll come back to the last day, but I seen it where the gulls start making noise, and then the deer, their heads were on a swivel.
Swivel, yeah.
Yeah, there's something out here.
And obviously, there's nice little pockets of herds. So you've the bones of 50 to 70 eyes on you. You know what I mean? They're all swiveling. They're going to spot you if you're coming up over a little.
Yeah.
So yeah, we it was first up was Anto to make a show of us. So we got down. We were only out probably, I'd say, less than an hour.
Yeah.
45 minutes, and we came over a ridge. And just as we're starting to come over, Paul just spotted one or two heads. So we had to kind of essentially bear crawl. I had to peek the gun over, and obviously we were skylined, so we had to try and get behind the gun without poking your head up. And to be honest with you, I wasn't 100% comfortable with with position or the shot, and I pulled it, and it was clean miss, thank God. But yeah, not off to a great start. Like, and it was only.
What's the distance?
It was 80, 90 metres, buddy.
Yeah.
You know. But do you know the way you get the shoulder behind the gun and you can get kind of comfortable when you're shooting off the ground? I was kind of like peeking over. I'm making all kinds of excuses, but I just pulled the shot. Wasn't comfortable. And again, this is one of the things where I do find when I'm shooting in front of people, especially with the podcast stuff, there's a little bit of extra pressure, you know?
There is, but
it shouldn't be, I know, but it generally is.
It shouldn't be, but even without the podcast, new shooters that are coming together, or hunters,
yeah,
automatically you're trying to suss out, what are these lads like?
Yeah, is he a good shot? Is he a bad shot?
Is he a good shot?
Yeah.
What's his field craft like? Even in a nice way. Oh Jesus, I wouldn't have done that, or I like the way he did that. That's just human nature.
Yeah.
So there is that little bit of pressure going out with someone for the first time.
Yeah. But yeah, so we pulled the first one, and yeah, not off to a wonderful start. But then I think it got slightly better in varying degrees from there on.
Yeah. So I had a bit of success on the first outing. Was it 3?
2 on the first one, wasn't it? No, sorry,
2
2 and then your book.
And then a book, yeah. So the first one, it actually it took 2 shots.
Yeah.
So right, we weren't off to a great start, but we couldn't get any closer, and we ranged them at whatever we ranged them at.
I think it was 260 or 270.
Was it?
Yeah.
And I fired a shot, hit the animal. The animal ran down closer to us, and then I hit him again, and he went down. But trying to pick him out of it, because the whole herd started to run.
Yeah.
They came down in front of us. I managed to take.
Now, that one was the one. So, because we are.
It was an injured.
It was an injured one. There was a couple. There was 2 in the herd in particular that Paul wanted. We had a good look at that herd. I think there was 20 or 30 in that herd.
Yeah.
But there was one that was limp, and there was one that I think had a nub, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you took the injured one, and again, as you rightly said, it came down the hill, and you just did another shot, and it was over. But again, that was one of the things where, again, the wind there, because we were shooting off the top of a ridge.
Yeah.
There was a gully between us, and he was up the far side of that.
Yeah.
So that bullet, obviously, as it travelled across that gully, took a little bit of a.
When we inspected the bodies when we were butchering them, we could see that the shot was back a bit, and that's purely because, and it's only in hindsight, that I wasn't accounting for any wind.
Yeah.
Do you know? Just because I'm used on the ranges and stuff, but when you're hunting, sometimes you can forget about the wind. That was that. Then that herd went down to the cliff sides.
Yeah.
And so we were stalking. There was 3 of us, and Paul said, "Oh, I think they're just over the next one." So I said, "I'll stay here. 2 yous go forward instead of 3 Egypts making noise. There'd only be 2." And what happened was, I don't know how they did it, but they doubled back around by my side and popped back out. And I was trying to whistle. I was trying to call you, but the wind
was just.
I ended up shouting.
Yeah.
And then eventually I took a shot, and I'll never do this again. I took a shot at a doe. Next shot it went down, but where I shot it was down the cliffside. And I remember after I shot, I went, "Oh no, I've got to drag this thing back up here."
And just on that, like when we were on that ridge, this is it's so weird because they were able to, as you rightly said, double back to our right hand side between us and the sea.
Yeah.
And you're looking out across this thinking, "Oh, that's the cliff edge there."
No.
But you go over that, there's another, couple of fields down below you in all kinds of undulating. It's so different. It's like one of them. Do you know them? Do you remember them toy? You know the cars. You know them fucking things.
Oh, the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, the Hot Wheels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them little tracks that it's going up and down, and it's like one of them. But so that was 2 down.
Yeah. So yous went to
Grolic the first one.
To Grolic the first one. I said I'll start this drag, but I thought yous could see me. So I wasn't giving you the opportunity to slag me, so I burst me hole trying to drag that thing back up. And here's the thing, I never said it to you. It's really steep, yeah?
Yeah.
The deer rolled at one stage and near dragged me off. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But I got him up on top. I sat down and made a little video that I posted.
Yeah.
Mainly because I was out of breath.
Out of breath.
I just wanted a little break.
Very good. So yeah, we 2 down. 2 down.
2 down, and then we met up with the boys because they spotted a bachelor herd, and then Paul made a plan. I'd go with him, you'd go with Philly,
Yeah.
and me and Paul managed to stalk in on the bachelor herd, and
I know.
I made an absolute hames of it. So we, like that, we had to crest the hill, so we would have been skylined. So the way we did it is we made sure there was one piece of gorse, and we lined ourselves up with that so it wouldn't skyline us as much. I got up on top. Now the herd has seen there's something moving on the top of this hill. So I was reluctant to pop up anymore. And Paul pointed out the one he wanted to take me, and the animal was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was the biggest one, I think, in the herd. It was massive,
Yeah.
right?
They always look that way when you're in the scope.
But there's another thing. I got panicked because I've never fallow deer. I don't shoot, and this was an opportunity to shoot a fallow buck. And now I'm looking at a herd of, I don't know what was in that herd, of different bucks. So anyway, I had a bit of a jittery moment. I got up on top, and there was a piece of grass and like dead bracken in front of me. And I remember Paul saying, "You're a bit low there." And I'd not ignored it, but in my head I went, it's 270, it'll punch through that.
Yeah.
He's only at 80. And I put it straight on the skinny part of his neck.
Yeah.
And obviously it deflected it enough that it pushed it off the animal's neck. So it was a clean miss. And I remember turning to Paul. So if you imagine, I went, and then I looked at him and went, it didn't go down. He was like, no, it didn't go down.
Because you missed.
So I thought, right, that's that. You're after making an absolute mess of this. And so we stalked on. So they all legged it. We stalked on a little bit further, and like that, they had doubled back on the lower ground. And me and Paul just stopped, stayed still. He threw up the sticks. I got on them. Now I'm trying to listen to Paul and pick out the animal he wants me to take. And they're all moving. So now I'm trying to maneuver sticks. I'm trying to listen to him, look through the scope, back off the scope. Stop it. Luckily enough, the herd parted in two, like the fucking Red Sea, and there was one buck standing in the middle. And Paul goes, "See the one standing in the middle? That's the one."
That's the one.
So I took a shot, a heart and lung shot this time, and it ran maybe 20 metres, but down out of sight.
Yeah.
Because it falls away into dead ground. So your mind automatically goes to, oh no, I'm after making an arse of this. So we left it a minute. Myself and Paul had a chat. Then we walked forward, and he was lying there.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise the size of him until I got closer to him.
It's a beautiful book.
It's a really nice book, yeah.
It's beautiful. We boiled it out when we came home.
We didn't boil it, you boiled it out.
But we boiled it out when we came home, and I was just looking at it, and it's everything that you'd want, and it has that lovely twist on the top of it with the lovely palmation on the beautiful. Not a medal or anything like that, but a really, really good representation of a fallow buck.
Okay, it's not only a good representation of a fallow buck, it's a Lambay fallow.
Fallow buck, yeah.
Like how many people have been on Lambay, don't mind, hunted it.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
And it's sitting on me wall in my room as one of me 3 species, Irish species, that I have up on the wall.
And fantastic. I was admiring actually before we came out that little post you put up with the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what a nice way to complete the wall, you know.
Yeah.
A few more to go on it, but for the time being anyway.
I'm waiting on Muntjac and Chinese from the UK.
Yeah.
They're going in there as well. I even have spots for them.
That's going either side of Willie,
the 2 Muntjacs are going either side of Wobbly Willie, which is my Irish red. So they're going to go down low on either side of him. And then the Chinese, I'm leaving a space over near the telly for him.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's coming together now.
Yeah.
It's coming together.
Yeah. It's very smoothie.
It is schmoozy, man. It is schmoozy.
I'm getting notions of myself.
I had gone off with Philly and Martin, and we'd gone over So you had kind of pushed over towards the left-hand side of the island. We had swung around to the right. And we were waiting. So you were over essentially one side of the hill or the mountain, whatever you want to call it. We were the far side. And we waited on a little pocket. And we had seen a couple. Obviously, this would maybe in conjunction with when you shot.
Yeah.
Pushed, split the herd maybe, and a couple of them had started to push around where we were. So like that, we had to kind of bear crawl down and get nestled down so they wouldn't see us up on the hill. But exactly what you said, Philly was brilliant, man, because like we bear crawled, I don't know, for what seemed like miles, but probably meters, and got into position, and then we had to go slightly to the right again because they went out of sight, ducked down behind another little bit of a nook. So we crawled down again, and like that he was there. See that the seventh one, you know, and of course then the leader decided, nah, I don't like going this way, we'll go back this way. So they all kind of double back on each other. So now you're up on the bipod and you're trying to maneuver, and now it's the third one, you know, and he's moving again. And of course looking back now, I probably had time to take the shot, but do you know when you're nervous about taking the wrong animal, like the lads were after inviting you over, they wanted to take some of the cull bucks, and here's you. If you pull the trigger on the wrong buck here,
you're wiping out his genetics. I was actually terrified of something like that happening.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was. So again, look, they actually pushed back around to the left. We went back up the hill to touch base with Martin, and then Philly brought me on back down that way. So we stalked back around, and like that again, I thought that was the chance gone. Do you know what I mean? Because they pushed off quite quickly. Again, a wallaby or two had shot out. They're saying, "Oh Jesus," you know what I mean? It's like alarm bells going off. And then we were coming over slightly, we were a brow, and we started to slow down and just peeked over, and you could just see a couple of antlers bobbing. And again, they were only, I think we were talking about 110, 120 metres away. Back down again, bear crawled up to the top, and we were coming up to one side of a hill. It kind of flattened off the top, and then a slight bit of a dip the far side in the gully, and they were all in that little bit of a gully. But you could see all the heads, and like what you said, tufts of grass, you know. And this is, again, I wouldn't have done that type of shooting. Do you know what I mean? Most of the shooting we were doing is you're stalking, up in your sticks, you know what I mean?
Or we have positions that
they were shooting down, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, you're up on the bipod, and again, some of my gear. This is a thing. We'll talk about this in more detail, but I had my vortex pouch, which opens in the front. So as you're bear crawling, this thing's open and my binos are popping out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We talked about this out here because I had a second knife stuck on my bino case, and every time I crawled, the rifle was making noise hitting off the scabbard.
Yeah.
And at one stage it popped off and I nearly lost it. I was like, no, I'm not crawling enough. I have to change my setup here.
And my bipod was stuck in the side of my bino pouch, and again, the two little legs normally just stick up. But again, as you're bear crawling, which are going out in front of you, that thing is sticking into the ground and it's doubling back over. So there was this kind of whole difference in requirements, I think, you know what I mean? So anyway, open the bipod, and like that again, I could see all the heads, and Philly was there. See where there's a break there, the first one to the left hand side of that break, so I was following him, then he'd move, and then he stopped, and I said, yeah, I see him now. That's the one we were touching base, you know, back and forward, and I kind of but again, I had it on the top part of the neck. I'm using Rob's neck here as a demonstration. The top part of the neck, and because I couldn't see the bottom part, you know, as it gets kind of wider down the bottom, I dropped the rifle down slightly. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because again, I was afraid. I was after pulling one of the shots. I said, no, I'm not going to pull this one, and down, and just boom, the little tuft right in front of it, straight into the bank. You know, just that bit too low.
We didn't put our best foot forward, didn't we?
And it was a beautiful buck, man. Yeah. It was a beautiful buck. So, yeah, I was off to I was there. I'm not
You were
shooting
in the
again.
fits of despair.
I'm after coming out here now. These boys, you know what I mean, after putting me on 2 animals, I'm after missing one. I'm not shooting again. So we decided to. Now, in fairness, as Philly said, sure, that'll make great old slagging for later on, and that put it on ease. You know what I mean? I said, yeah, look, the boys know the crack. So there was a little bit of slagging. We broke for the match.
We actually had breakfast.
Martin
made
cooked
breakfast.
a storm, man. Yeah.
Myself and Philly flew around, picked up the deer on the quad, and by the time we came back, breakfast and all was ready. It was
ready.
Perfect.
Yeah, brilliant, lovely little cottage as well.
Yeah.
Perfect for hunting. I had the breakfast straight over. Watched the old Ireland match. We got you into rugby.
Yeah, I start getting into it. I was asking lots of. I know there were probably stupid questions, but there's too many rules in rugby. You need to make that stuff simpler, lads.
But you were a professional by the end of it, buddy.
By the last match, I was like, why did he kick that?
So we watched that, and then back out for the evening stalk. And I actually went out with Paulo this time, and you tipped out with Philly.
Yeah.
Philly's a great little knowledge on. He shot a lot of deer, man, because he didn't let us know at the start. He's not one of those types that would brag him out. But as you're talking to him, you're finding little. This fella shot a good few deer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even his field craft and how we were basically stalking and approaching into animals, like he would be very clued in with wind, the terrain. Yeah, he was very good to go out stalking.
Yeah, and puts you at ease as well.
Yeah,
puts you at ease, which is good. Like that little joke, and he said, "Sure, we all done it. You know what I mean? It's, you know." And he said, "Sure, that'll give us plenty of ammunition now for later on for slagging." So that kind of put at ease. Then out with Paul, I'm just trying to think. Where do we shoot first?
You went down closer to the shore.
That's right. Where did I shoot my buck?
That's where you shot him.
Yeah. Because you picked him up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself and Philly had to pick up all the deer.
The deer, yeah. But yeah, we got into. It's not terrible. I'm after having a brain fog now. An absolute brain fog.
I'll go with what I did. You think about it for a sec, yeah? I went out with Philly, and again, we went up to fucking high ground. Philly, man, what are you doing to me? I had to go up that mountain again. But we stalked for a little bit. We got into a herd, right? One particular animal was limping bad. It was a calf. It was a young male. It was not a pricket. I don't know what you call it. It was a calf, but it was a male calf. It wasn't a pricket yet. It didn't have any antler. But we noticed he was limping really bad on his front right. He was actually leading the pack. He was the one moving the herd around. It was very strange to see. Yeah. But we decided, that's one to take out. It was at 288 because Philly laser taped it, and I got down behind the gun. I was very comfortable at this stage, and when I squeezed the trigger, I was able to say hit before Philly knew it was a hit. Philly, he didn't hear a report, he just seen the deer fall over. Yeah. So he thought this was hilarious. So I was off the mark again on the second outing. So that was 4 in one day for me. Yeah. So we grollicked that. Philly actually showed me the flat joint. I was struggling with something with the flat joint. Not struggling, but I said, do you have an easier way of doing this? And like that, the little bit of knowledge starts being released, just little gems. And he showed me how to take off the leg at the flat joint, just an easier way of finding it. So, and then like that, we made a phone call to you to see how you got on. Yes, yeah. And you had got
the book.
Your book.
So we actually, Martin had come with us, and we were down beside where they did the driven shoot, you know, the wood. And we had just come through a gate, and we'd come out the outside of that forestry on the field side. So there was a fence and the forestry between us. This is the thing about Paul as well. He's a real old school stalker. You know, he's the cane. Reminds me a little bit of Yancey, you know what I mean? The binos and the cane, and he just, you know, stopping every now and again. So what's he stopping here? You know what I mean? And with that, he just looks back and gives us the wink. So I knew there's something there. I couldn't even see them, but he was after spotting something with a naked eye. You know what I mean? True.
It's weird, right? Because we're not used to looking for we look for deer and all, right, Grant, and it is a deer species, but fallow and where they bed down and stuff,
Yeah.
it's similar to the boys in the UK.
Yeah.
When they're looking for Chinese, and muntjac, they can spot them a hell of a lot quicker
than we can. And that was exactly what. And with that, I took out the binos, and all I could see was, at the start I could see nothing, and then I just, in between three trees, oh, there's 5. Do you know what I mean? So we had to stalk up along the edge of this woodland, and he was just pointing towards, there was a big, huge kind of bramble, and he wanted us to get to that and then peek out. So he actually went out into the field a little bit, and that kind of kept us shaded from view, and up on the sticks, and like that there was tree in between. There was two big trees, and he said right in between the tree there, the one that's standing up on there was one lying down, bedded down, and there was 2 at the back. He said the middle one. So
Were you nervous in case you shot the wrong one?
Oh jeez, there was a load of things. Now I had pressure on me now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was now a buck in front of me, and I've never shot a buck like this. You know what I mean? I shot, like, obviously it was my first one with Yanis, but this was a far bigger animal. It's a Lambay buck. I'm after missing twice. Do you know what I mean? There's now 2 sets of eyes on me watching this muppet.
Yeah, because you had Martin and Paul. Yeah.
So I had all this kind of in my head, but like that, I put it on his neck, pulled the trigger, and down he went, rolled. And I was never so relieved in my life. I was kind of like, yeah, I think I can shoot, you know. Yeah. But it wasn't a long stretch. It was only, I'd say, 90 metres, if even.
Why did you go neck? Was it the only thing?
Yeah, I was confident enough because I could see the base of the neck. You know, I could see the full length of the neck, and as well as that, dude, like I wanted to
show I can shoot.
Yeah, well, and I was nervous then about, you know, if I went heart and lung and had a runner, and then it's, oh geez, this goes to rat shit altogether.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it correctly. And I know we talk about heart and lung shots and all that kind of stuff, but I was comfortable. I was on my sticks. I was up on the sticks, and it was only 90 metres. So
I'd say if you missed, you would have just went back and got into bed.
ring the boat and going home. So Martin split off, and Paul brought me up the hill. We grollocked that out. We brought it back to the edge of the wood and left it, because he puts them in spots where the quad can get. So we dragged it. We only had to drag it 30-40 metres over the fence and left it there. And back up the hill. And Paul said, right, we're after female calves or females for the freezer. I said, grand. I was happy enough I didn't pull the trigger again. But we were out maybe we'd stalked in on a herd they'd pushed on just over the hill. We'd kind of seen a couple run. I don't know whether it was in conjunction with maybe your shot, I think.
It was, because they all headed over that direction, yeah.
So we'd seen them coming around the base of that hill, and we said we'd try and get up. So up we went, and with that we were just coming over one of the mounds, a bit of gorse in front of us, and about 80-90 metres, all kind of in around that distance, a small bit of the herd presented. I went up in the stick straight away and seen a female calf, bang, took it down. And with that, the rest of the herd went down the far side and out into, you know, where they have the lunch that for the driven shoot, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a big open plain. Kind of reminds you of a little bit of the Curragh in the middle of this island, you know what I mean? But it's bowl, so we're up on one side, it goes down and starts to go right back up the far side.
That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, there's a fence the far side of it. So the herd all started to go over and started to jump over the fence.
So they bunched up?
They bunched up a little bit, and a couple had to double back. Now again, Paul only wanted the females, so again I was looking at, there was a calf and then there was a female, and I just said to Paul, what is that? And this is the thing, he didn't have a rangefinder, right? And he said about 270. That's what he said to me. I know I never thought of it. I thought, well, maybe he has rangefinder. Never thought till after, right? So I dialed in 270, put on the animal, squares, down she went.
Now redeem yourself. Where did you put it on the animal?
I put on the neck. Yeah.
And it got it in the neck.
It got in the neck.
So you can shoot.
Well, yeah, half reasonable. But so I had completely disregarded the fact that. So and Paul said to me, "What range is that at?" Right, and I said to him, he said, "No, that's what I
think.
That's what." And he was showing me his bit of, because he knows his.
Yeah.
He's been in these.
But I think the building trade actually, because you're quite good at that.
Yeah.
He's in the building trade.
Yeah.
He's quite good at it.
So I took out the rangefinder, right, 263 metres. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
to where we were standing. And I looked at him and he says, "What is it?" And he was smiling because he knew he didn't have to. And I says 263. Near enough, I suppose. So and that's what I mean. Old school stalker, you know. So yeah, grogged out the two animals, and yeah, I was. He said, "Do you want to have another?" And I said, "No, I am happy out, man. We'll go out with a high here, all right, before I make a fuck of myself again." But yeah, so we all headed back then, and we watched the.
That was day one.
Day one,
and
3, 4, 7 animals down.
7 animals down. Me and Philly flew around again, collected them, came back. I had to have a shower because that day was actually quite warm.
Yeah.
And I foolishly wore a fleece, so I had a couple of layers on me. Because again, I thought it was flat. Remember, I came back and this is actually this top I have on. I went, feel that top. It was ringing through. So jumped in, had a shower, and then we headed down to the little bar.
Little bar, yeah. The boys had a couple of pints ready.
Yeah, and stayed there for a little bit. Me and you were drinking red wine because we're fucking sophisticated. Martin,
again, yeah.
You have to give Martin a shout because Martin got his very first Fallow book.
Yes.
When he split away from you.
Yeah.
So I was delighted, and I thought like Martin would be older than us, and he's shooting his whole life, but he's knew enough to deer stalk.
Yeah.
And when he said, "Oh, that's my first Fallow book," I was like, "Oh, congratulations! You're gonna have to boil that out something."
Yeah.
And he was going, "Sure, it's not that great. It's your first one."
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when we came back, Martin again made us dinner:
steak, spuds, and mushrooms. How will you stop?
And I made the mistake of saying at the dinner table, sometimes the simplest dinners are the tastiest. And Philly straight in, "Martin, he's saying your dinner's simple." I was like, Philly, I didn't mean it like that. But it was so tasty.
It was exactly what the doctor ordered. A big lump of steak, boiled spuds in the jackets, and a heap of butter and mushrooms. My mouth is watering at the minute.
Now, Fallow steak. So just to clarify, everything we ate, bar the fry, was all game. Harvested from the island. So
absolutely, it was top quality. Couple of nice creamy pints then to wash it
we
down.
had some packets of hunky dories. They weren't harvested on the island. We brought them.
But I was wrecked, man, after the first day.
Sure, now it's still the first day. We're still, even though we're having pints and having a chat, everyone's still sort of sussing each other out. Now I was bollocks, so I excused myself. And I snuck off the bed.
Yeah.
I do that a bit, don't I?
You do. I stayed on for a while, had a bit of a chat with the lads, and then I dipped off as well because I was the legs. I from the back of my knees up to the cheeks of my ass, man, because it's all either uphill and I don't know where downhill's nearly worse.
Downhill on the second day was starting to. I could feel it on the knees.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I did notice: the evening of the first night, the wallabies. So during the day, like earlier that day, they're quite skittish. But as it starts getting into the evening and lower light, they they're not too worried about you.
Yeah.
Like you can get into
close
enough.
Wallaby, yeah.
Like I was very surprised.
Some of them are big enough animals.
There was one lad, like Don Juan, lying up against the bank. He was jacked. He was obviously the main man. This fella. He'd muscles on his ears.
Yeah.
He actually looked at me at one stage and, "What the fuck are you looking at?
You want to punch in the head?" I actually took a video of two of them boxing each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
two of them, it was deadly to stand up.
I didn't realise the sheer numbers that they have over there.
Yeah, man.
Because you hear otters, wallabies, and you think otters, 40 or 50.
Yeah, is there? Fuck, man. There's a lot of wallabies.
There's a couple of hundred there now.
Yeah. So that was that. Then the next morning, then who did I go?
Barely.
You
were with Philly.
Yeah, and now you talk about two different climates, man.
Yeah.
It was. She was rough. The wind was
It was just
howling.
a miserable day.
The rain was beating off us. I went out with Philly and we went down to the nose of the island, right down, you know that?
Yeah.
And like that, we only seen 2 animals kind of ran past us in a gully, literally skipped by, wouldn't had a chance even to get up in sticks. And that's all we seen on that morning. But there was a moment that I wanted to just probably highlight. It was, we sat down and it was like the rain it wasn't beating, but it was a good mist, and it was kind of like a misty old fog over the bay. And we sat down and I just said to Philly, do you ever think, how lucky we are and what it took for all this, for us to be right here, right now?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was one of them kind of moments where, and he said, yeah, man, I think about like what, it's kind of kindred spirits or whatever. He said, I think about it all the time, man, because he told me how he met Paul and all that kind of stuff, and all the things that had to happen for us to be there on that day. And
Yeah.
I just thought, yeah, if I don't pull the trigger ever again, I am absolutely happy. That summed it up, And then I think you guys, we gave you a shout not too long after that, and you were over just not too far away from us, actually.
Not too far away, no. But like that, the weather was that bad and the wind was hopping. We sort of knew that the animals wouldn't be moving that much, and they'd be fairly skittish from the day before.
Fallow, just on that, buddy, Fallow seemed to be, in comparison to Sika, would it be a little bit more delicate? They don't like the
harsher weather.
The harsher weather. Is that what you think? Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously they haired up a lot more than Sika, so you have more eyes on you, so there's more chance
of something
spotting you. So they're just skittish. But yeah, they didn't really make an appearance the second morning. We did see 2 or 3 obviously winded something and spun around by us. There was a couple of bucks, there was a couple of spikers, and then there was like 2 does, but they were constantly moving. And then look, they just disappeared off before we could set up. And but myself, Martin and Paul, we tucked in behind a rock and just waited for an hour because it was cold. But while we were there, Paul quite kindly has given away a scope. So it was a scope that he no longer used because he's upgraded, but instead of selling it, he wanted to give it away to a new shooter, a youth shooter. And we've done this in the past. But Paul asked, could we put it up on the, what would you call it? On the socials. Look at me. On the gram, right? So we did. I made a little video when we were sitting there, and Paul goes, no, don't put me in it. No, I won't, Paul, I won't. What's the first thing I did?
Hey, Paul,
look at the video. So look, we made a little video, put it up.
But that's just a sign of the man as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, didn't want any, just here, give that to a new shooter,
Yeah. So we made a deal with him that we would narrow it down for him, so there's no heavy lifting, and then he just picks out of the last 3 or 4. So we've done that now. We let it go for a week. A young lad, Rory Doolan from County Roscommon, new shooter, 19. He was the one that was found to be. Look, and there was lots of people sent in.
Yeah, that's the hard part as well, man. Because there was 8 or 10 people that you know what I mean.
Yeah, you would deem. Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
but there can only be one winner.
Yeah,
and that's who won. But look, more stuff like that will come up.
Yeah, and like a shout out to people if people have surplus gear that they want, and I know gear is expensive, and I'm going through the whole switch over at the minute, so I know myself how expensive it is. But if there is gear that's maybe surplus to requirements, you know what I mean, let's get in touch and we'll see can we get somebody else into the game.
Yeah. So on that particular morning, that's the only shooting I did. I shot a little video. With Paul. And then headed back because it was freezing. Yeah,
myself and Philly actually doubled back around into the wood because we thought that we kind of bedded down in the shelter. But no joy. And like that, he just said to me, it was just one of them really cold, hungry mornings, you know what I mean? And he said, we go back for a cup of tea about 11:30, 12 o'clock. We're up since whatever, 6 o'clock, whatever. And I said, oh man, that sounds delicious. Go back, had a cup of tea. Martin produced Paul's signature burgers.
Oh, the burgers are very nice now. I actually had a pot noodle and a thing of tuna.
Yeah, I had a pot noodle while I was waiting because I was starving as well.
I didn't realise the boys were waiting to put on burgers. So I had eaten, and you know me, I don't eat that a huge amount. And then they said, "Oh, we're going to bang on burgers. You're probably not hungry." Oh no, wait now. I didn't know about said burgers, so I said, "No, I'll take a burger as well." Devoured it. Very, very nice.
Oh, and the lads, Paul has I think this is a very good idea. I'm going to set one up in my gun club as well, just for the lads who want to cook game.
Yeah.
They have a little recipe kind of group. So lads, here, I've tried this, and he's perfected the little burger recipe.
They've perfected a couple of recipes there. I think it's a great idea, because why do we hunt is to get the end product, which is the game.
Yeah.
And if you're not using it, it's a waste.
It's really cool to see lads, and I mean this because like years ago would have been kind of, you know what I mean, lads don't cook, and there's all that kind of matching. But it's great to see lads exchanging recipes, like feeding families, and like really, really good dishes, man. Like this is not eating game for the sake of eating game, you know what I mean?
No, we'll talk about the last dish now in a sec. But we came back, I had that, now my belly's full. So what did I do? I headed off to bed.
Yeah, you had 2.5 hours. Philly, I found out, was a United fan, like me, and United were playing at 2 o'clock, and I just suggested, does anyone want to follow football? Yeah. And he was as delighted as I was. So we brought down the TV. The fire was hammering away in the thing. The rain was beating off the window. I mean, howling. You know what I mean? It was because myself and Paul had to go down and take off a ladder that was after falling over, and set up, toasty warm, watched the match, and got ready to go out again. Now, if I'm being honest, right, if somebody had us, because the evening was, she was horrific. Now
I was going to touch on this.
If someone had said, "Here, lads, we'll give it a miss tonight."
I was even trying to hint at it.
Yeah.
Are we going out, yeah? Sure, if like I'm easy, but
yeah,
I'm so glad I did go out. The weather was.
The two of us actually are glad we went out for two different reasons. You explain your reason first.
I went out with Philly. Again, we went up onto the high ground, but I was so glad because my body was starting to ache now.
Yeah.
Paul said, "Should take the quad and go up as far as," and he named a place, so I didn't have to do a lot of the heavy slogging.
Climb, yeah.
So we got up. Now we still had to walk a good bit into it, but not the hell part.
Yeah.
So we got up like that. We spotted a herd just peeked over the edge of the cliffs and was grazing, but there was no backdrop. We watched them for a while. We thought they'd come out, but like that, the gulls behind us rose and started to make noise. Now the deer are on red alert, and they pushed off the cliff again. Grand. So then we decided we'll make a stalk on these. So the wind was actually in our favour. We stalked. Now the rain and the wind, man.
Oh man, it was terrible.
Right, so we got over, and like that on the first day, they used a little cliff below us to disappear on us.
Yeah.
Okay, grand. So we spent about an hour just peeking around the cliffs. Then we said, right, we'll head back. We're out of luck here. And just as we're starting to cross open ground, I looked up to my left and went, "Oh, would you look at that?" So there's a couple up on the hillside. Oh, they could have been a kilometre away. So Philly goes, "Come on, over this way." So we hid behind the mound. We actually took our time to make a plan.
Yeah.
Because we were going, if we go here, the wind will blow this way.
Yeah.
What happens if we go? So we came up with that plan, stuck to it. Again, there was lots of bear crawling and crawling.
Yeah.
Got up into, I can't remember, it was about the 250, 280 mark. Again, there was another calf I picked out of the herd. Squeezed the trigger, neck shot. It actually ran. It ran uphill.
With a neck shot.
With a neck shot. So I actually thought, fuck, did I miss him?
Yeah.
Even though I seen the animal react that it was a strike, I thought, oh no, you're after missing him. But no, if I had a video on my scope, because he just got to the brow of the hill and then sort of sat down, his head was still up, and then slowly just went down, and I thought if I had a video, that would be a perfect video to show a couple of things. The animal expiring, but also the possibility of a runner with a neck shot.
We've actually had two people sent us in videos, and we didn't post them because we don't want to be seen to be making or getting into hole. But 2 different videos of neck shots with runners. It can easily happen.
Easily happen.
So it's not a foregone conclusion. You can have runners with anything, you know.
But a neck shot on a calf, you would think would just
book it. Yeah.
no. So I was successful.
What a great stock.
Epic stock. So the stock was brilliant. The making of a plan between me, because as soon as we shot, we both knuckled each other. Knuckled each other? That sounds a bit dorky. Do you know what I mean? We both fist bumped.
That was your favourite?
Yeah, it was my favourite stock. So we both fist bumped. We were delighted. He was just as, and that's what I took from the lads, that they were as delighted as we were when we were shooting. To the point, man, I shot that much. I was trying to get Philly and Paul to shoot when we were going out. I came on here, you shoot today, I'm happy enough. And they wouldn't do it.
No.
So they were leaving us the opportunity to
no, that's a great sign of people who are really good at their job and really into their job, is like that. Like every time, you know, you're out with Philly, you can just sense the enthusiasm. You know, he is the perfect man for that gig, you know.
Now see the likes, and I said it when we went out with Norman and the boys, that's not for me.
No.
I wouldn't be able to bring people out. See, if it was bad weather and someone turned up and I had to get them on an animal, I just wouldn't like the pressure of all of that.
Yeah.
Where the boys they're built for that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a vocation, that thing.
Now, you know why I like this stock? Because we had to go back and get the quad. And when I say Holy God opened up the heavens, right? The baby Jesus, the hails, I've never seen hail like it.
Like golf balls, man.
It was stinging. Everyone that hit me was stinging. And I started to laugh because it was that windy, hail, a misty fog came down so we could barely see. I just started to laugh as I was walking. And you're under pressure going back uphill.
It's nearly that. It's better if it comes like that. Do you know, if it's kind of misty and kind of murky and you're kind of miserable? But when it's that bad,
it's actually funny.
You can actually just say, here, look, this is it. Like, there's no, I'm getting drenched. There's no, maybe it might stop. It was just hammering. Yeah, so a brilliant stock. And that was probably your favourite stock out of the whole lot, apart from obviously harvesting the buck.
No, that was my favourite stock because there was a huge amount of hardship in it.
Yeah.
Because there was all sorts. There was failure, there was respotting, making plans. The weather turned horrendous to the point when I came back in, I didn't realise the type of state I was in until you took a picture of me when I got back to the house.
It was brilliant. But look, that's the epitome of hunting, you know, like, because people say, you're talking about, it's easy stalking over there. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? You can get, absolutely, like here, you can get lucky and walk in on a herd, but like that, you're bear crawling a lot of the time in generally in poor enough conditions. So you have to be, you want to be fit enough going over there now, you know?
Surprisingly to my misconception, I didn't think it would be like that, but it was. How did you get on?
Yeah, I had a brilliant evening for a completely different reason. Because I was mad to get a chat with Paul, you know what I mean, one-on-one, and he, like that, I was walking behind him because it was like, it started off kind of, it was windy, but there was a little bit of sun over the thing at the start, so it was lovely coming up over the mountain, and you're saying, oh Jesus, it's beautiful. And I just looked over the bay and I could see like black clouds all over on Dublin side, and I was like, oh man. And then the wind, so he started to get up, he said, we're going to stalk up to that top of that, there's a kind of flat rock, perch up there and just wait. He said, see, there's some of them coming out to graze, and that side of the hill wasn't as breezy. So that was our plan. So that's what we did, up the hill, stalk. Then we were there about 10-15 minutes and we started to have a chat. And then we were both looking at it and we could see this. He said, we'll just move back a little bit here up towards the...
You could see what was coming.
Yeah. And there was an old cottage up there. So we said we stick in there and we could still have a nice vantage point. Martin was stalking from the other side. You boys were on the far side of the island. So we were sort of being strategic, saying,
I didn't see any of this coming. This hit me by surprise.
Yeah, no, we were on that side, so we could see it kind of pushing over towards you. And with that, then we sat at the cottage, like again, and then it started to get bad. And we said, here, he looked at me. We were deep in conversation with returning behind the the wall of the cottage. So now we weren't talking at all. We were just discussing the future of sport, how to get young people involved, stuff that Paul's involvement in his club. And we were going down that rabbit hole of, you know what I mean, how do we make hunting better and more accessible and all that kind of stuff. And that's why it was a great evening for me. I got to know him a little bit better. I got inside his head and I found out that we're
More
pretty
alike.
similar. Yeah.
And that actually transpired into the bar later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that because everyone let their guard down and it was just full crack.
Full crack. Yeah. So like that, we just both looked at each other and this is not going to happen this evening. We're not going up that side. The wind and the rain had started to beat in and we were half the distance away from the cottage as you guys were.
Yeah.
So we went downhill and back into the cottage and it was just, we were actually coming in the door when it was really getting really bad.
So I rang you.
Yeah, and I was just literally in the door.
I rang you and said, here, any joy, do you have an animal on the ground? We'll pick it up. And then I realised, he's not outdoors. Where are you, pal? I'm back in the cottage. Oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah, so that was a brilliant, I wouldn't have had it any other way. Brilliant round off to a brilliant couple of days talking.
Now, if you gave me a choice before we went out, I would have skipped that. And to my own peril, because that was my best dog.
Yeah, there you go.
So
it's always the way.
If you ever feel like, I'll skip it today, don't skip it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
And like that, I wouldn't have, in hindsight, I wouldn't have got the opportunity to have one-on-one and have the discussion and go down the rabbit hole we went down. And now that, who knows what'll happen, you know?
Yeah.
But we came back and now I have to be honest, right, it was Nigerian pheasant, right?
Nigerian pheasant, yeah.
That was what was being talked about.
No, I didn't know what to expect.
Now, I'm going to say, hey, I'm not so sure, not that I don't like Nigerians or anything, but Nigerian pheasant. Number one, does Nigeria even have pheasant?
Yeah,
I was questioning in my head. And then, do you know what I mean? When you're now I'm starving at this day. I am like famished.
we know the way you get. When
Yeah,
you get
I'm a bit hungry. So I'm hoping, and then there's talk of Nigerian pheasant and chips. I said, right, grand. Now, okay, what is this? It's like a curry, and it was. Then, as the boys were describing it, it wasn't making it any more appealing, right? In my head,
Yeah.
And they're just going to be honest, because this was a recipe designed seemingly over in Nigeria for there were old cocks or turkeys or something. They were
really tough
and you know what I mean?
struggle to eat. And,
Just, yeah, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's all right. This
I was eyeing up another tin of tuna. Instead of eating this, I'm going to have to eat tuna or something.
yeah.
Now, the first bite of this
Oh my God, man!
Martin.
I've never ate. I'm telling you now, I haven't eaten. I haven't eaten a dish as good as this. Period. I just think I cannot wait to cook it.
Don't mind pheasant.
In general, just
If I got that in a restaurant,
oh man,
now granted we were hungry and tired, but that was delicious.
it was made with pears,
Pineapple and peaches.
peaches. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was pineapple and peaches, wasn't it?
yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Now that sounds weird. Peanut butter and then other spices. And that doesn't sound nice in a curry to me, but when I ate this, it was delicious. And where he gets his recipes from is the Poacher's Handbook.
And we're going to get that
We're gonna, yeah,
very book.
yeah.
That reminds me, I was thinking there was something else I had to do. I'm going to order that today because that is absolutely hands down one of the nicest dishes I've ever had.
Yeah, and that set us up nicely because there was good quantity of it as well.
Yeah.
To the point, when I first seen it, I went, oh man, I'm never going to be able to finish this. Not
Oh no,
a
I
bit
went in for
left.
seconds. I went in for seconds, man, and I was there. I was licking the plate.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Now everyone has a job. You'll find out real quick, even without talking. Like, everyone slots into their own job. Martin's was cooking.
Yeah,
The boys was getting us on there. Ours was
cleaning up afterwards. Yeah,
washing up.
Yeah.
So that's what we jumped
Yeah,
into every time.
we wanted to try and do our bit. Like,
I know, you have to pull your weight.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So we washed up. The boys headed down to the pub, shortly followed by us.
Yeah.
And now it was a different story. Like I said earlier, everyone sort of let their guard down. And now we're just having the crack.
Yeah. It was cool. It's really cool.
It was really cool.
I think was there a bit of sport on or
It
something.
was the English match.
The English match, yeah. Well, that was the evening before, I think, but it was. No, it was.
Oh, no. Was it? Oh, I can't remember now. I think it was the evening before. I don't think there was a telly down on the last night. We didn't. The telly stayed up after the United match.
Yeah, so we're just having a bit of
A bit of crack, yeah. And got to know everyone really well. Like the three lads are gents, Martin, Silly and Paul.
Gents, yeah.
And we're going to do some stuff with Paul in terms of he's looking to donate, not a youth shoot, but he's looking to put on a shoot, so a driven shoot for either, let's say, beginners.
Yeah.
Beginners into the sport. And how we do that and when we do it, we'll have to
can you put me on that?
Yeah. So that's one thing.
Look, we're hoping to get back over to one of the driven shoots next year. Please God, if everything falls into place, because I'd love to see their
driven shoot.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of it, and man, they get some really nice birds.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then we were bed at a reasonable hour, 1:30 or so, and then back up the next morning. Got all the animals prepared, down to the pier,
dragged onto the boat.
Yeah.
Now this boat, we're skipping over the boat. This boat was actually designed to lock in to, the wind turbines. So it's specifically designed for that. But it makes it handy for dragging, what are the bags called?
Ton bags.
Ton bags, or they were half-ton bags.
Yeah.
Full of deer, straight off the pier and onto the boat.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we packed up and headed back.
Yeah, loaded up, split up the deer. Everyone got deer for the freezer. And we had a lot of deer, man.
Yeah.
And then we had a bit of breakfast with the lads before we
headed off. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was, look, the whole trip, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And for anyone who wants to go shooting on Lambay or just see Lambay, because I was trying to allude to it with the podcast with the lads, like what else can they do? They can put on weddings, they can bring groups over. There's great history on that island.
Yeah.
And in between the shoots, Martin and Paul actually brought me around into the church and the walled gardens and
distillery and stuff.
The distillery. Yeah, the whiskey distillery is another thing. And he was giving me some of the history of the island. Fascinating.
Yeah.
So there is plenty.
It's a really nice spot to go to. I go back in a heartbeat. I think it's fantastic. I one of my favourite hunts. Yeah. I have to say.
And I'd spend time with the lads because they're genuine lads.
Yeah.
They're very similar to the UK boys. That sort of inner clique.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And once you get in, they're sound.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. They're I think we said that similar to Tom and the boys, where they have that kind of banter between themselves, and it's not really, because the Philly calls him boss or whatever, and Paul doesn't like being called. It's that kind of. They're friends more so than boss and worker or whatever you want to call it.
We should probably put them in contact with each other. I think they'd get on as well.
Yeah, I thought that as well. I thought that they'd be really, really good to bounce off.
What have we got planned for the next couple of weeks?
Well, we're off to the schools now over the next couple of days for
youth development.
We also have a little bit of collaboration with Irish Swift Conservation, Fergal O'Quinnigan. So I want to try and give Fergal a little bit. Me and Fergal have plenty of banter and back and forward, and a love hate, or a hate probably from Fergal's side.
Look, in fairness, you need conservation and hunting. Like you said earlier, they go hand in hand. So if you can help each other, brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean that tongue in cheek, because Fergal actually dropped down here. We're neighbours, and he dropped down here the other day, and we had a great chat. And he is a wealth of knowledge. I've actually tried to get him on the podcast before, and we were having a bit of a tiff one of the times, and I was saying, I won't have you on the podcast then, and he said, well, I'm not coming on the, but it was tongue in cheek.
Is he open to coming on?
I don't know. I'd love to get him. I'm going to. He's absolutely open to helping us, because even in the short space of time we were chatting, I racked his brain for the owl boxes, positioning them and stuff like that. I found out, not to put 2 owl boxes close together, keep them 50 metres apart. The Swift boxes, he taught me more about Swifts in 10 minutes than I've learned in my whole life.
Because you were actually relaying it to me, and I was going, oh, you're
There you
picking
go.
up a good bit.
So, and I'm hoping we can try and, through our school programme, help him get into schools with the Swift boxes.
Yeah.
Because he's actually thinking about the future of the Swifts. You know, because he has them up in his own house, but as he says himself, when he dies, the people who come in there will probably just take down the boxes.
Yeah.
So that's the colony gone. So he wants to establish them on public ground, which is just shows the calibre of the man, you know. So yeah, a huge shout out to him, and we'll do a little bit more about that. We have
your rifle.
My rifle. I have my license. I'm just waiting on my rifle now, and waiting on a couple of mounts actually to come in. So we need to.
Then there's the whole setup of the rifle. Why you picked, what gear you picked.
We have to pick the ammunition, and we're going to talk through zero. I'd love to do a whole podcast just around the build of the rifle. We're going to go down, pick our scope.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 scopes in the mix. I'm going to be, at the minute, I've narrowed it down: the Schmittenbender, the Z8, the Zeiss.
Yeah, the V8.
Sorry, Z8. Yeah, Z8. I was looking at you saying, I'm not saying wrong. V8 and the Blazer, probably.
Yeah.
You know.
They're the 3. Just spend a bit of, the problem I'm having with mine.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you won't have that problem. I've just never experienced that problem with the Blazer scope.
So look, with that, those are the 3 that are kind of we've narrowed down to. So we'll be spending a bit of time. We'll have a look at that. Then we have to pick ammunition, moderator, build the kit, get out. We have our new chrono we have to test. So yeah, we've that whole. If Neil will come on for a chat, hopefully you might have a little bit of a chat with him.
Yeah, I'll see if I can twist his arm.
We've also, as part of the youth development thing, might do a podcast on youth development, because Rosenellis, Jason Keaton and Alan Kerwin, the lads down there, they're running a youth development day. They have a simulator for the day, and there's a whole open day. There's going to be game tasting and stuff on the 12th. I'll confirm that. I think it's the 12th of April. But we hopefully might get one of the lads on for 20 minutes, let them speak about that, what their thoughts behind it, and promote the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Because Conor MacDonald as well is after taking over, he's the new youth development officer for the NARGC, and Conor's already there. He is mad to push the secondary school programme, the transition year with the simulator and stuff.
Oh, very good.
Because now they're not restricted to shooting grounds.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? You can go into. So again, Conor might. I haven't even asked him. So here, Conor, I know you listen. So there you go, my man. You might even come on and just have a quick chat about that as well.
There's a good few people looking to come on.
Yeah.
There's actually one in particular. She hasn't fully agreed to come on.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
she's a new shooter, just getting into hunting.
A very well-known figure, yeah.
Very well-known figure. Keep your ear to the ground, because if she does jump on, it would be nice to get her perspective.
Absolutely.
Coming into hunting.
Absolutely.
Later on, her experience, what struck her to jump in, what's her plans,
obstacles, etc.
all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. And yeah, I've the Kildare committee meeting, I've just found out was on tonight. So, 8 o'clock. So I'm gone for the whole day today with youth development, and then I'm just about to tell Avril before I shoot off that I'll probably see her tomorrow. All right.
Yeah. Lads, a big shout out to Paul and the boys.
Yeah.
Thanks a million for everything.
Lambay Island hunt. What a epic hunt.
Over and out, lads.
Over and out.